Hey everybody, Roman versus with the Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
Special version of the Nighttime Podcast with your boy, the boy Harm. That was totally slurred. I don't know what's happening. This is gonna be a fun episode.
To wrap it up before we get into it, this was a good Raw.
You know what? I was thoroughly entertained the second watch through.
The
first watch through, I fell asleep.
This guy.
It had nothing to do with it, but it had nothing to do with the quality of the Raw. Had everything to do. I had a long day at work yesterday, and then I went out to do some Uber Eats deliveries because I'm a broke. Because I'm a broke, and I tried to come home and just put it on for background noise, and I fell asleep halfway through. But the second watch through, I was thoroughly entertained.
That's good.
Looking like a brown grimace over here. It's the purple shirt. This is the kind of podcast it's gonna be tonight.
That's how you should have started it.
looking like a brown grimace.
Looking like a brown grimace. The boy.
You can always edit. You can always edit it together afterwards.
All right, let's move on.
All right. So Monday Night Raw from my new hometown, or close to my hometown of Orlando, Florida. It's like 40 minutes from my house. I thought about going to the show, but WWE and TKO want to price out the middleman. We can't afford these shows. So the show kicks off with The Vision, and The Vision comes in, and it's a lot of talking. And Paul Heyman basically tells everybody, like, The Vision. The crowd starts chanting CM Punk at him right away. And he says CM Punk could have been in this group, but he would not listen to me in the long term. So he's not in this group. But The Vision is about the future of the WWE. And one man who embodies the future of the WWE, and he walks over and he goes, the newest member of The Vision, because we've been talking about this for a couple weeks, is he or is he not? Paul Heyman put the official stamp on it on Monday Night Raw. Austin Theory is an official member of The Vision. So we have thoughts on that. Go ahead.
I just want to say that this pissed me off. And the reason it pissed me off is he did the bare minimum to get into this group. And then when I thought about it, I said, wait a minute. What the hell did Logan Paul do? He also did the bare minimum to get into this group. These guys are literally just recruiting based off 1 week. 1 week. It takes you to do one action, one heel move to get into this group. This is ridiculous.
I have another take on it, but that would be a private conversation.
Okay.
I don't think we should put that into the universe. But no, we talked about this Austin Theory, and my opinion is he's a plant of Seth Rollins to break this entire group down. Austin cost.
It needs to be that. It needs to be your theory that he is a plant, and that he is going to eventually cause the downfall of this group. It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that's compelling at this point. It's the only reason why I accept the fast recruitment of this guy, is so that we can get to that point where the dissension happens. Otherwise, this is ridiculous. Because the entire night was, I got your back. No, I got your back. But guess what? I have your back. No. So remember that other guy? I got his back too. Like this was ridiculous.
So the history of it is Austin Theory was once one of Seth Rollins' minions when he was not the Ministry of Darkness. I'm sorry. He was the Messiah of Monday Night Raw, in an era where no one was watching professional wrestling because it happened during 2020 in our pandemic, and no one was like, I'm not going to watch wrestling while there are no fans. So Seth Rollins had a group. He was the Messiah of Monday Night Raw. Austin Theory was one of his guys. Buddy Murphy was one of his guys. So my theory is Seth is tapping into his past, sending a guy into this group to infiltrate them because of them turning on him. Now, that being said,
which would be very reminiscent of the Shield in certain aspects, in the sense that when he betrayed
Roman,
when he betrayed the group.
When he betrayed Roman in 2014. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Roman and Dean in 2014.
Yeah.
He joined Triple H and he joined the Authority.
Yes.
Okay.
I think to have that happen in a group that was created by Seth is poetry in motion.
Okay. But yeah, though there's a lot of little things that if you're not paying attention to are really interesting. It's like them walking out to the ring. Who led them to the ring?
Yeah.
It was Braun Breaker,
Yep.
Austin Theory, side by side. So my thinking is, all right, they're already positioning Austin Theory as being a main player in the Vision ahead of just a symbolic nature.
100%.
Ahead of Logan Paul and ahead of Bronson Reed. Like, that's what I took. He's like, oh, you're standing ahead of Bronson Reed.
He was
the guy who beat Roman Reigns.
They positioned him as clear number 2, but they kept trying to make a point of making Bronson Reed number 2. But it's like the way they stipulated everything and the way they said everything, it was clear that Austin Theory was number 2. Yes.
It's going to be Austin Theory is going to be a focal point moving forward.
100%.
Bronson Reed is going to be a background character. That's the way I took that. And I'm just like, I get it. Braun Breaker is the guy you're hitching your future to, the guy who I think should beat CM Punk next Monday on Monday Night Raw to win the championship, and Punk should eventually get it back at Mania. Like, I don't think, like, I think Braun should beat him next week. Punk wins at Elimination Chamber and then wins it back at Mania. I think that's the overall storyline.
Repeat that?
But
you think
I think Braun wins it next week on Raw.
Yeah.
Punk wins at Elimination Chamber to get his title. No, Punk is in the Elimination Chamber. Yes, Punk wins to get his title match at Mania.
And then Mania, he wins it
and
back.
He beats Braun at Mania to get it back.
I don't hate
on night 2. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think that's where they should be going with this, because Cody Roman should not main event night 2 again. We're not doing that. So Punk Braun should main event night 2 if they do with that story. But they're obviously positioning Theory as number 2 in the Vision, and he was the first one after Paul Heyman to talk. And what was the first thing Theory said? Theory said, I'm in the Vision, but let's give it up for your future world heavyweight champion, and pointed right at Braun Breaker. He was putting the onus back on him.
Yeah.
And he goes, so before they can really get into, going into it, he talked about the tribal thief. Before they can really get into it, CM Punk comes out, and CM Punk cuts this normal promo. He comes out, he goes, I'm going to come out to the ring. I'm not a bitch. I'm going to fight. I want to talk to you, Braun, but get all your lackeys out the ring.
Yeah. So
he gets into the ring. Braun and him go face to face. And I say this 3 times in 4 weeks. Braun cut a great promo.
He really did.
He slipped up a little bit because he said twice, when I watched this, he said twice, I'm not one of your indie guys. So I think he fumbled his lines the first time and then said it a second time. He goes, you don't respect me because I didn't spend time on the independents. He said it twice.
Yeah, but then he kicked it back and he was like, basically I was on the football field.
No, I know, but just to say that same thing twice caught me off guard, and just like, you didn't need to do it. I just feel like he messed up the first time. But he cut a really good promo. He said, he basically looked at Punk. He said, you look at me like I'm the young guy, like I haven't paid my dues on the indie scene, but basically from the time I was born, people have been looking at me for greatness. He didn't say it, but I'm going to say it. He's the son of Rick Steiner. He's the nephew of Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. And he said, from time to time, people look at me from greatness. If I fail the family, is what he was basically saying. And for you, Punk, to look at me that way and look at me as like, I'm not relevant right now is disrespectful. If moving forward, you may look at me at the future, but no, I'm the right now. I'm 26, I'm 27 years old. I should take this title off you right now because you're 48, 49 years old. That's what he was saying. And Punk retorted with, he kind of elevated defended Braun in Punk's promo. This is why I liked it. Punk was like, you think you think you know what I think of you. No, you're more ready for this world title than anybody in the back, and you're more ready for this world title than anybody in your group.
So I liked it because it came across like a Uno reverse.
Mm-hmm.
And he was definitely, to your point, he was very poignant of the fact that, no, you're ready for this. More so than anybody in the back, more so than anybody in the vision. You are definitely ready. I'm just not ready to give it up. And that's what's going to stop you. That's what's going to halt your momentum, is the fact that I'm not ready to give it up. I love that. I love that line.
To the point, it comes off like real sport. Like Braun is the young gun running back, quarterback, trying to come up, trying to take the spot from the guy, and the guy's not ready to retire yet, right? Because Braun said, I was on the field with Lamar Jackson, because he was a practice squad member with the Ravens before they cut him. So he knows all these guys. He goes, I was on the field with real professional athletes while you were out here playing indie scene with Bryan Danielson. Is what he basically said. And Punk is like, no, like in this world, I'm the guy, and you need to prove to me you're the guy. And how do you prove to me the guy? You beat me.
Yeah.
That's what. So even though Punk got the one up, I think in this back-to-back, I think Punk got the one up.
Yeah.
On him. I think Braun should still win this.
He got the one up. However, Braun stayed with him the entire time.
I agree,
it wasn't like he completely just blew him out the water. That's not what this was.
I agree. But I still think Braun should win this match next week. It's going to be through cheating. He's not going to beat Punk clean. But I still think Braun, on the 1 year anniversary of Netflix on Raw, should win this championship.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, you go into and you have Punk win it in his real WrestleMania main event, because that's the one thing Punk's always wanted. I know he got it last year, night 1 in main event in WrestleMania, but Punk main eventing night 2 of WrestleMania to close out the entire show to win the title. I think that's what would be special for his career.
Yeah.
I agree as much as I'm not a huge Punk fan, I can respect the journey, and winning it night 2 WrestleMania to close out the entire weekend is special for Punk.
Yeah.
All right. So then we get, let's go down. Oh, we get the backstage segment between Raquel getting interviewed by Kathy Kelly. No, it was the other one. It was Jackie Redman.
Whatever. I love this segment because it was planting the seeds.
100%.
It was planting the seeds because you could see Liv came over and she was just like planting the seeds of Roxanne in Raquel's head.
But it's also the fact that Judgment Day post-Edge, I'm going to say post-Edge. We always talk about Priest's version of Judgment Day and Finn's version of Judgment Day. We used to talk about how Rhea was the leader of this group when she was there. And then when they kicked Rhea and Damian out, it was Liv. Liv kind of took control because Dom always gave control to Liv. Liv's still holding control of this group. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. Liv Morgan on screen is so good.
Yes, 100%.
In the backstage where she holds control of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So Raquel's in this match. It's Raquel, Nikki, and Stephanie for the World Championship coming up. But Liv comes up, and Liv goes, she looks at her, and she calls her, and it's the little words that Raquel uses. She calls her sister. She doesn't say Mamacita the way she used to talk to Roxanne. She called Liv's sister, and she's always like, I'm going to go out there. I don't need your help. I'm going to win the championship. I'm going to bring it back to the Judgment Day. And Liv's just looking up at her like, you need to win this championship for the group. You need to win the championship for us. Because if you can't do it, we have to. That's what she's saying. If you can't do it, we have to address. And I told you weeks ago, and I think the story is Stephanie is going to get through Raquel. Stephanie's going to get through Roxanne. And eventually it's going to get to Liv.
Yeah.
And Liv is going to be the person to take that title off of Stephanie Vaquer. Because Liv is so good at what she does. I can't see anybody else taking that title off her.
Nobody
And
at
that's
this point, just the way everybody's situated, most of your top women
are in the tag
are in
division.
the tag division. So there's no reason right now. Liv is the only top woman that is not in the tag division, that's not pigeonholed to it, besides Raquel.
Later in the show, Adam Pearce tells Bayley and Lyra that Liv and Roxanne still have tag title aspirations.
But
so we're not completely...
she's the only one. No, I agree with you. But she's the only one that even last week, I think it was last week or the week before, where even though she was in the tag division, she still made it clear to Stephanie, I want that title.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Nobody else has done that. Everybody else is so focused on the tag titles for some freaking reason.
But this is what we talked about for professional wrestling for years, right? Even going back to the Vince era in early 2010s. Everything seems so segmented where it's not an actual universe. Nothing intertwines. Liv actually, because she's in the Judgment Day, because you have a Dom story when he gets back, you have a Finn story when he's back there, you have a Raquel and Roxanne story. Liv is the glue that holds everything together. She can show up the same way Rhea was. She can show up on 3 or 4 segments throughout the show and it doesn't feel forced. Because because it makes sense for Liv to do this. Dom holds 2 championships in WWE Universe when he considered the AAA championship part of the universe. Finn is going for one of the titles. Raquel, we've been talking about as an underrated superstar going for the world titles, mid-card title. Roxanne is an up-and-coming star. So Liv is the glue that holds all of them together. So of course she's going to be on the TV everywhere. So she is the glue that holds everything together.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I agree for the most part. However, and we'll cover this during the match. There's a reason I feel that they also protected Raquel from the finish.
I mean, but they did make the point that she has gone for the world championship 7 times and lost every single time.
I get it. But my point, no. And you're absolutely right. But at the same time, I feel like there's a point to it. She's eventually going to get that title.
You think Raquel is eventually going to get the title? I don't know.
I think she eventually gets that title. I don't think over Liv. I think Liv gets it first, but I think eventually Raquel's going to get that title. Because you don't make that point without that. And on top of that, you made Nikki take that L. You wanted to protect Raquel from the finish.
Stop earlier. We're going to get into the Nikki Bella segment in a second, but we'll talk about this match. This match was actually really good. So this match was really good. Stephanie and Raquel did a lot of the heavy lifting. Nikki, to my point.
Listen, before you even finish, I was prepared to curse you out. So I'm glad you're taking the stance you're taking because this was a very good match.
This was a good match. I'm not going to argue.
This was a very good match. It was very compelling. Nikki, what Nikki did.
She was better
than up.
Yes. Yes. I was going to ask you that before we started recording.
She did not mess up. That was the bar. Yes. Go ahead.
If the bar is to not botch.
Yes.
If the bar is to not botch and just be there, Nikki Bella gets an A+. like that's where I'm going. If the bar is to wrestle competitively.
If you rewatch, I need you to rewatch that. No. Hold on. I need you to rewatch that match because it's not just that she didn't botch. There were points where she had to be at certain spots at a specific time, and she was there.
But there was also points where she had to be there at a specific time, and there was like a half-second delay. Like when she's outside the ring, it's very early in the match. She's outside the ring and she's about to hit like a shoulder block on Raquel, and she's waiting on Raquel to get up, and she's just like, I'm like, all right, Nikki, go. Like if it's to wrestle competently, Nikki Bella gets a C+. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not as bad as the Becky match. It's not as bad as the Stephanie match.
I agree with all of that.
My point is that
match. She wrestled like an actual wrestler. She wrestled like she was supposed to. She wrestled like she wrestled in the past. Because the way she has been wrestling has been as a person who was fresh into the ring. This match, she wrestled as though she is a in-ring veteran who actually knew where she was supposed to be. I agree with that.
I agree. She gets 75 out of 100.
So because she was able to do that and everybody else was able to hit what they were supposed to hit, this match came across as a stellar match. I enjoyed it.
I'm not going to say stellar. I'm going to say
stellar. It was stellar. Why do you think they kept cheering for this match and they kept saying
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great.
This was a great match, bro. This was a great match.
I thought the tag match later, when we talk about the Usos and AJ was a great match. This was a fine match.
There are levels. I agree with your sentiments. It's not better than that match, but I'm saying it was, let's say, good. It was a good match.
I say 75. If you give it on a course of 100, 75 to 80, it's not a bad match. It's a solid match. You're entertained by it. Nikki hit a couple things. Nikki hit a not even hit, but the ability to hit a crucifix that looked solid on Raquel Rodriguez. The STF wasn't terrible. I mean, her STF looked better than John Cena's half the time. Like there were times in Nikki's
even that moment where she hit the STF and then they were like, "Thank you, Cena." She was like, "No, don't thank Cena, thank me."
But because she's a heel, because she can do it. So because she's a heel,
yes,
she can wrestle differently than she as a babyface. Maybe that's what it is. Yes. When she's a babyface, she doesn't know how to do it. As a heel, Nikki Bella is better.
Yes.
I'm gonna agree with that on that perspective. This is fine. Vicara gets the win. Nikki Bella loses after one of the versions of the STP. Like she keeps changing this shit. Like, I'm sorry. It started with a backbreaker, then it changed to a power bomb. Then now it's a weird shoulder breaker because Nikki can't take a pile driver. Well, like, what is happening?
The point is I'm wondering how next week Raquel is gonna flip this into how can I get another title shot? Me? Because I never got pinned.
Correct. I mean, what's going to happen is Liv and Roxanne are going to be like, we needed you to bring that title back. You failed. I love you, but now one of us are going to have to do it. I think Roxanne's going to go to Adam Pearce because we had that face-to-face. We had the non-title match between them, but she never got her championship opportunity. I think this is going to be a long-term story moving forward, especially if Dom is off screen. If Dom really got hurt at a AAA show over the weekend, and you need to do something with Liv that's compelling, that's not including Dominic Mysterio, because he's been the main character of Raw for a long time. So we'll see. But it's intriguing. I like Liv. Do you want to cover the Kabuki Warriors promo? Because I don't want to do this.
There's not much to cover. They were talking crap the entire time. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky cut them off, and they start the beatdown. They, the face get over on the heels, and you know that next week they're not going to lose.
I went and said I told you last week. I think the baby faces win. I think Rhea and
I don't think the Kabuki Warriors lose to them quite yet. I believe it happens eventually. I don't think it happens next week.
If this goes to Mania, I swear to God.
I didn't say Mania, my guy. This guy.
We're in January.
Okay.
Think about it. If this Netflix Raw is next week, once this is over, everybody's going to start coming out and saying, I'm delegating or relegating myself for the Royal Rumble. That's what's going to start happening the week after. We're going to ignore all of the storylines for a month because of the Royal Rumble, and then we're going to go into everybody's going to point. Then we're going to go into Elimination Chamber with whoever's not champion. So if Stephanie's still champion, it's not me, Stephanie and Jade. It's going to be Rhea. It's going to be Io. It's going to be both Kabuki warriors.
So let me ask you this. Let's say hypothetically Rhea
maybe
and
Bianca
Io
and
win.
Tiffany.
Stop it. Io and Rhea win. Who comes out of the tag division and says, I'm going back to single stardom?
Asuka.
You think so?
Asuka. I think this entire thing, as much as we love the work that Kairi is doing because she's hilarious.
She's hilarious.
I think this entire storyline was to get Asuka back to being a star.
Okay.
She's been the most relevant person of this entire feud.
I'll agree with that 100%.
So how do we get a competitive person for Stephanie at Mania? And I'm just thinking about this on the fly right now. We get Rhea and Io to win the titles. We get Asuka in the Elimination Chamber. We get Asuka to win the Elimination Chamber or the Royal Rumble, one or the other, doesn't matter. And we do Asuka Stephanie at Mania. That match, like that,
I could see
that's
Asuka,
a show stealer.
I could see Asuka beating Stephanie.
That match could be a show stealer. Just booking it on the fly. Asuka Stephanie.
That's a
Mania.
Dream match right there. That's beautiful.
That is, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to remember the scenario. You got to remind me. I'm just saying, like Asuka Stephanie at Mania, if they do it that way, it could be beautiful.
No, I get you.
Because Asuka is already a Hall of Famer when you look at her career. But I've said this a dozen times to you.
Yeah.
When she also feels like somebody who's been underutilized.
Who, Asuka? Absolutely.
Yeah. Royal Rumble winner, multi-time champion, multi-time tag champion. And yet you look at her and be like, you could be doing so much more with her.
100%.
All right. So the baby faces beat them down, so go home math tells us that the heels should win next week, but I don't think so. I think the baby faces are going to win the titles next week. We get a backstage segment between R-Truth and Gunther. More of this. We're going to get Gunther over as a heel thing. Everybody's cheering him. R-Truth gets up to it in his face and said, "You're still being super disrespectful to my childhood hero, John Cena, and I want to fight you." Gunther laughs at him and says, "All right, I'll meet you in the ring." This match should have been 3 minutes shorter than it was, but I feel like it was still 5 minutes.
It's fine. Again, as we discussed as we were watching, this match was nothing more than to have Gunther go over even hotter. Because, to your point, who was it that said it? Kevin Nash said that it's not real heat.
He said it's manufactured heat for Gunther.
Yes. So, what better way to circumvent that than gain more real heat by the guy who's Cena-esque and who's a fan favorite?
The guy who fans literally forced the company to bring back because they released him. like this match was, if it was 5 minutes, I'm giving it credit. It was a lot of chops. R-Truth tries to hit his 5-knuckle shovel. Gunther clotheslines him, hits a power bomb, chokes him out. R-Truth taps out.
Yep.
That's all it was.
I will say, me personally, I know you wanted more of a squash match. I wanted more Cena moves earlier on and then the squash.
Okay.
That's what I wanted. I wanted more of the fans getting
R-Truth
revved up and something.
R-Truth comes out of the box and hits everything in the first 40 seconds.
And then immediately just gets dominated. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
But it's fine. It was a fine match. It did exactly what it was meant to do. People are more pissed off with Gunther, whatever.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the backstage segment where Austin Theory, you already talked about it, where Austin Theory goes to every single member of the division and says, "I have your back." because he has a match against Rey Mysterio tonight, and Rey Mysterio is in a quasi feud with Logan Paul for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And just whatever. Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio. This is a good match.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory gets the win with a stomp. Like really,
No,
like
he
I
did not
don't
get
know
the
what.
win with the stomp.
What he beat? Oh no, Logan Paul cut him off, drawing the the disqualification.
Yeah, the DQ.
I'm thinking about last week.
Yeah.
It was a DQ because Ray was about to hit the 619. He was going for the splash, and fucking Logan swipes him out.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Swiped
I'm
him
sorry. I'm thinking about
like straight out.
About last week's show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Competitive match. It looked beautiful. These two have really good chemistry in the ring because they're both just very athletic. Rey Mysterio can still go at the age that he's at, which is just
49,723.
Yeah, like it's just beyond his years. And Austin Theory is just amazing in the ring. He's just athletically gifted. It was very compelling. I wish they would have actually finished the match instead of Logan Paul just coming in and, doing what
Austin
he did.
Should have gotten a pinfall.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's fine, whatever. We got a returning Penta. Cero Miedo.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love the fact that there's no way. Like sometimes we call these things and they don't do it because it's such a WWE thing to do, and then they swerve us and they're like, nah, we're not gonna do that.
Next week, tag match next week.
But there needs 100%. To be 100% next week. There needs to be a tag team match next week.
I would bet my right testicle on it
and put it on the record. If it doesn't happen next week, the boy Harm has officially lost his left testicle.
I said right, but okay, sure.
Whatever.
I said right.
Doesn't matter which side. The point is, you lost the testicle, bro.
I don't need no more kids. Oscar Gutierrez, also known as Rey Mysterio, was born on December 11th, 1974. So Rey Mysterio just celebrated his 51st birthday this year.
51st?
51st, 1974.
Crazy the way this man moves. He's 51
years old. He still moves crazy.
Absolutely insane how fast this man can move.
51 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Congrats to Rey Mysterio for
the fact that he's still doing this at 51.
Amazing.
I say all the time, Hall of Famers in wrestling should not wrestle anymore. Rey Mysterio might be the exception. Like, he's 51 years old and still going. I still think Dom should take the title off him. Maybe not this Mania, maybe the Mania after when he's 53 or 52, whatever it's going to be. But 53 years old, still out there.
Here's what I was going to mention. I didn't want to mention it while we were offline. I was like, let me mention it when we're in the pod. The issue I'm having with your theory that Dom takes out Rey Mysterio is the fact that we both said he's going to turn face.
Dom's 20-something years old. He's gonna get. So Dom Mysterio.
My point is if he turns face anytime
there's
soon,
no way he can turn baby
no
face.
way he can do that and take out Ray. So that means the only way this works is if he stays heel
for another year and a half.
Sorry.
Dom Mysterio
and
is
that's
in that
difficult to see them do that.
No, I agree, because Dom Mysterio is in this weird realm where he's trying to do everything to get heat and fans cheer him
do not care.
Every single week. Unless he's facing John Cena. People cheer him. So having another 18-ish months of Dom as a heel might be hard. Mm-hmm. But I think he's a super babyface moving forward into his 30s in this company. I think Dom Mysterio is the babyface and Braun is the heel.
The only way you do this, to me, and you turn him face, is if you do a tag match with Ray and Dom.
And that's his retirement match?
And that's his retirement match. So another team defeats them, and it's a retirement for Ray. And then now Dom has to continue on like, damn, I failed my dad. I got to redeem him, so on and so forth.
Yeah, but I can see that as him being a face, but I don't see that as a good end of a story for the Ray Dom story,
No,
right?
I
So
100%
Dom,
agree. I'm just saying, but your way, I don't see it happening because there's no way you can keep this man heel the way he's going.
Ray is universally beloved. Ray
So
is
my
universally beloved.
so my thought is, how do you continue that forward and continue that, right, in a way where you have Dom as a face, but also have that retirement match where Dom is included? Because at some way you have to have him included in Ray's retirement match.
100%. 100%.
1,000%.
Dom's entire career has been around Rey Mysterio. Even if he's feuded with other people, he's always been Rey Mysterio. He started as his first match was against Seth Rollins because Seth, quote unquote, took out Rey Mysterio's eye during the pandemic. That was his first match. To not have him go out, and this is why I say, be the guy who takes Ray out and takes that mask, and it carries on the legacy of the Mysterio name, it is blasphemy to me. But if you're going to make him a baby face, you can't do what I'm saying.
No, that's not true. You can have him be a baby face, have him in a tag match, have them lose the tag match, and then he don the mask because of it.
He's never going to don that mask. I'm
not saying don the mask every single night, but you don the mask. I mean,
the mask is on his neck. Like, the mask is already on his neck.
But I'm saying in the sense of you can have him be like a why am I forgetting his name right now? Finn Balor.
Okay.
And have it be like the demon that at pay-per-views he wears the mask.
I mean, to Dom's point, he's already worn masks in match to honor other luchadors. Like, he doesn't
need it, but it would be cool if he did that after his father got retired on him. You know what I mean?
As how I feel,
a badge of honor.
You know how I feel. Ray is the greatest luchador of all time. Dom, and I don't want to say this. Cena said this. Other people have said this, and I'll agree to it. Dom, by the end of his career, because of where WWE is now versus where it was when Ray got popular in the 90s and early 2000s, by the end of the time Dom might be the more popular Mysterio than Ray ever was.
Which is fine, because every father wants that for his child.
100%. And if you ever look at Ray's shoot interviews, not his on screen, Ray always talks about how proud he is of his son.
Yeah.
Because Dom didn't want to be in the wrestling business. He was forced into it by his wife. His wife literally said, I pushed Dom to get into wrestling.
Whose wife?
Because he didn't start. Dom's wife.
Oh, Dom's wife pushed him in.
Dom's wife pushed Dom into wrestling. Dom didn't want to be into wrestling.
Really?
Because he did, yeah, because he didn't start training until he was like 23 years old. And he's like, I can't, I think the idea is I can't be my dad.
Yeah.
So I'd rather do something else. But Dom's wife is like, no, you're talented, go into wrestling. And what Dom has that Ray never had, he'll never have the in-ring ability that Ray had. Ray is amazing.
Yes.
Dom has an ability to capture a crowd the way not a lot of people can.
Yeah, I agree.
Cena could, Flair could, Austin could. Like, Dom has always had that. And if you can do that in wrestling, Miz can. That's what I'm saying. Miz is an all-time great because he gets reactions from the crowd. Not because of what he does between the 20 and 20, but because Miz is that good on the mic. And that's where Dom can be. I think I closed my thing. Next segment was a lot happening. Next segment was Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch. This was actually not bad. Yeah, I'll go into it.
You could cover this. I thought it was that bad.
I don't think it was bad. I think Maxine has a lot of work to do. As much as we praise Maxine for the in-ring ability she's done for the last 4 or 5 months, because where she was in that first Becky match where she got squashed versus where she was recently, she's much better. This felt like, what does a baby face say if I'm champion? For Maxine. I'm the Intercontinental Champion. You're going to praise me. I'm going to break your foot. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And Becky was trying to carry her through the promo. Mm-hmm. This is what I say is like Becky's man character when she was feuding with Ronda and she was feuding with Charlotte got her to another level of superstardom. But Becky is on that Bayley level. You give Becky something, she's going to get it over. She got into the ring. Becky literally said, I didn't tap. I don't know why you said I tapped. She carried the majority of this promo, and she tried to get Maxine there. And Maxine is just green enough on the mic that she can't get herself over. WWE is in a place right now where they're trying to fuse the new generation forward. And even though Becky's not old, she's viewed as previous generation. Maxine Dupree, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, Obafemi, who we saw another promo for tonight. They're trying to put them first and foremost in our minds so that way Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, they're trying to put us first and foremost in our minds so that way when these people are done, they're moving forward. This was fine. Maxine's going to win next week. She's not losing the title, Becky. Becky literally said, I'm the greatest women's champion of all time. Sports Illustrated says it, blah, blah, blah. And Maxine cut her off and said, yeah, you're right. But I'm the Intercontinental Champion. And regardless of what you say, Sports Illustrated may say it, I may say it, and she tried to use Becky's lines. It just didn't come off right. She needs work in that aspect. But in the in-ring, she's fine. Like this got us to where it needed to be for next week.
So let's get this straight. She's put in the work and she's really good in the ring now.
Not really good. She's good.
She's
good.
No, I'll say really good.
She put on a really entertaining match. Let's go.
She'll put on a really entertaining match. Yes, absolutely. She needs a lot of mic work. However, this wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. Becky carried the most of it.
100%. However, once she got to the watch your mouth or I'm going to break that ankle, I liked it.
No, it wasn't even break that ankle. She pointed down and she said, come in the ring and I'm going to break that. And I was confused of what she was pointing at. Because
ankle. What do you mean?
Becky had something in her hand. Even your cousin said, I think she's coming in with something on her that she's going to break. And I'm just like, I understood she was talking about her foot or her ankle, but it wasn't like there
That's
are little semantics.
Because I immediately thought ankle. Okay.
I thought ankle too until somebody else said something. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. But if you have been watching the last couple weeks, you would understand. For somebody who's not watching a casual and it's like, what's she talking about? What's she going to break? What's she doing? Huh? Like, that's my point. There has to be more succinct things when it comes to your promo sometimes. Especially this time of year when you're gonna get casuals who only check in for Mania season. You're gonna get casuals only check in for the Rumble and Mania. So let's make the promos a little bit more detailed, if that makes sense.
My only issue with this was, again, as good as she is now wrestling and as fine as she is with the promos, how many times have we seen this match?
You can't believe her. This will be 6? 5? 6? I don't even know.
Can we do something with her? Like, she can't be legit.
No, because every woman is in the tag division.
I know,
we talked about this
but that's my problem. It's the same thing over and over. It's like missionary, blah, blah, blah.
All right, Roman, take it easy. No, but the issue is we need to get Maxine over. How do we get Maxine over? We have her win multiple times over somebody who's calling herself the greatest of all time. It's the same thing with Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella is saying, I'm a Hall of Famer. You can't shine my boots. How do we get Stephanie Vaquer over? We have her beat somebody who keeps reminding us she's a Hall of Famer. It's the same story. It's no different.
I get you. Whatever.
There's a 0% chance Becky Lynch wins this match next week, even though I think she should.
1,000% she doesn't win, but I agree with you. She absolutely should, because okay, like
unless you're getting to Natty versus Maxine at some point,
no,
there's no reason for this match. All right. Segment, or we were finally at the end. Okay, cool. There was a segment in the back with Adam Pearce before I get to this. Adam Pearce was talking to somebody. He was talking to Javon Evans. Because Javon Evans is a free agent. And Javon Evans wasn't that match supposed to happen this week? Was it? Didn't last week Javon Evans also have a conversation with Adam Pearce?
Yeah.
And Ludwig Kaiser just shows up and talks to him in Spanish. And Javon Evans said, I don't speak Spanish, but I know he said enough that he's disrespecting me.
I could have sworn that was supposed to be this week, yes.
So we just decided not to have it this week and then decided we're going to prolong it till next week or the week following. Yeah. Because it was the same exact segment.
That's pretty much what it was.
Oh, no. It was 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago. And it was Javon Evans versus Ryo Bravo.
Yes.
Ryo something, whatever. That's what happened.
No, but it was supposed to lead into him into the next guy. And it never did.
Yeah. And then this week, they just had a backstage conversation.
And they said, eventually, we're going to get to the three of us, which I'm guessing we'll get next week because now these guys don't have the tag title, so they don't have anything else to do.
What guys? Who has the tag titles?
AJ doesn't have the tag titles anymore.
Oh, yeah, because Dragon Lee just started walking up and talking all types of Spanish I didn't understand.
Yeah.
So you think we're going to get Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, and one of the...
And AJ Lee Lucha versus the three...
AJ Lee?
AJ Styles.
Oh, you think we're getting a six-man?
Yeah, it's a six-man.
Javon, AJ, and Dragon Lee versus... The Americanos.
That's what they said. The Americanos were basically how at some point the three of us are going to run this.
I don't speak Spanish.
That's fine. That you didn't need to speak Spanish to understand that they were basically challenging the three of them. They were challenging Javon, and then Javon, these guys stepped in and they were like, well, we got his back. So essentially it's going to be 3-on-3.
Like this entire promo was in Spanish. Every single word of it. Especially when German Ludwig Kaiser started talking Spanish.
Okay.
When I heard German Spanish, I was just like, I'm out. All right, so before we get into this World Tag Team Championship match between the Usos and AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, great match. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to need you to put together a 15-minute clip. You got to go through 80 episodes because this is episode 80.
That's not happening.
A 15-minute clip of everything I've ever said about... Fuck, what's his name? Jay Uso. Jay Uso. I need you to go through everything I've ever said about Jay Uso.
I don't have that kind of time. That would take 2 weeks off my life.
This was a fantastic match.
Fantastic.
The Usos are one of the, as much as they want to tell you, Usos are one of the, I feel like week to week, hear me out. If the Usos are in a match or in the New Day are in a match, does it feel like the announced team is always telling you that team is the greatest team in the history of WWE?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whichever team is in the ring, and then when they're both in the ring, then they try to be impartial.
Neither one of these two teams are in my top 5. Wow. That I'm gonna go that far. Both of these teams are great. New Day and Usos. They're neither man. All right. Nope, they're my Kobe Bryant equivalent. They're at the bottom of my top 5.
We're not. You don't. You set it up like you want to fight. You knew. Like how many times did I leave? 5. Oh my god.
They're at the bottom of my top 5. We'll get to this match in a minute. The Usos and the New Day are 4 and 5. Because in my opinion, we're gonna go Road Warriors. We're gonna go Hawk and Animal.
I don't pick them. Go ahead.
Really?
I wouldn't put them in that.
I go Hawk and Animal, number
ahead.
one.
Go ahead.
I go Tully and Arn. I go Four Horsemen, number two.
Nope.
And then I go Dudley's, Edge and Christian, Hardys. So they're not even in my top five. I said 6 and 7 are Usos and New Day.
Yeah, that's fine. So I would put Dudley's, Hardys, Edge and Christian in my top
because
3.
that's when you watch. Because that's when you
and that's
watch
fine.
wrestling.
But yours is nostalgia based because they were not doing the things that these other teams have done. That's nostalgia based. But I'm not going to argue you. It's fine. My point is that these are my top 3, but they're interchangeable at any point. So I wouldn't say, so at any given day, I could be like, oh, the Hardys are on top. Then the next day I could be like, Edge and Christian are on top. The next day after that, I'll be like, the Dudleys are the best. They're interchangeable. Then I would put the Usos. Then I would put the New Day. Because the Usos, the only thing for me that hinders them is that it's Freebird rules.
Okay.
The Usos
this is why I don't put Freebirds in. Because I would put the Freebird 6. That's just me.
Yeah, but that's why. It's because they're interchangeable in what members were doing what. When realistically, the Usos had nobody but the Usos.
But I'm also a guy who goes back and watches 70s and 80s wrestling, and I appreciate Legion of Doom, Road Warriors. I appreciate Arn Anderson.
We'll do this on a pod, on a TikTok. You
Harlem Heat. How can we not put Harlem Heat?
Hold on. On a
Steiner
TikTok,
Brothers.
Shut up. On a TikTok, you play the best matches of the best tag teams in your opinion, and we'll see.
I mean, it's gonna be TLC too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry. Not including any of the Hardys, Dudleys, or Edge and Christian.
Okay.
I'm talking about yours, because you say that these two teams are the top 2 for you. Those are 3, 4, and 5.
But that's different.
It's not different because I can appreciate it, but because I can appreciate something. If something's good, it's timeless. If it's not timeless, guess what? It's nostalgia. And if it's nostalgia, it's not the best.
But that's going to go and say who's better. So I'll make the argument to you. You're going to say it's nostalgia versus whatever. Just because I consider Bret Hart my greatest wrestler of all time doesn't mean I consider him better in ring than Kurt Angle was. Kurt Angle was better in ring than Bret Hart was.
So how is he the greatest of all time to you?
Because when you consider the era they wrestled in and how wrestling was, he had to wrestle that realm. Like Benoit to me is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But when you look at today's wrestling versus 30 years ago, things were different. The psychology was different. The athleticism was different. Everything was different. You can't say Finn Balor versus Ric Flair, because when you're watching a Ric Flair Ricky Steamboat match from 1987, it's not gonna stand up to a Seth Rollins Finn Balor match because they're doing more athletic shit. But when you watch when you actually are in that realm, early 90s, mid 90s, early 2000s, and you go back and watch this match, oh, these guys were doing.
I think that's a cop out.
You have to compare.
I think that's a cop out. I think that's a biased cop out, because the reality, if we're looking at it as rappers,
that's a different argument.
It's not a different argument.
That's a different argument.
It's
because
the lyricism. If the lyricism is there, the lyricism is there.
Because I don't think education changes year to year and decade to decade. When you're talking about athleticism and how things are done, it's the NBA argument. Is LeBron better than Bird? 100%. LeBron is way more athletic than Bird. Yes. So of course he's going to put more numbers than Larry Bird was. But when you look at
him above Bird,
I do, because
nostalgia would put Bird up.
I think when you consider the way the NBA game was played in the 80s, when no one shot 3-point shots, Bird is better. If LeBron played in the 80s, LeBron would play the way Larry Bird played. If Larry Bird played in the 2000s when LeBron played, Larry Bird would play the way LeBron played. So there's a difference. Larry Bird never took more than 81.
Larry Bird would not be able to play the way LeBron played. No, he would not. No, he would not.
He would.
No, he would not.
Larry Bird never took more than 81 3-point attempts in a season. He never made more than 81 3-point shots in a season because that's the way the game was played back then. But if you take that version of Larry Bird, 1984 Larry Bird, and you put him in 2007 with the medical advances, the way the game is played, the way the game is taught, and you told me Larry Bird couldn't play in today's NBA when you couldn't defend, you couldn't tackle, you couldn't clothesline, you couldn't punch, you couldn't hand check the way they were on Larry Bird back then, you're crazy. Larry Bird in today's NBA, Michael Jordan in today's NBA would be putting up numbers because the rules are more skewed to offensive players the way they were defensive players in their day. Same thing with wrestling. Wrestling in the 80s and 90s was more based upon physicality. It's more based on big guys on steroids and not athleticism. So you're going to view the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, as guys who couldn't do the flips that the guys could do today. Scott Steiner is one of the first persons to do a recorded 450-degree splash. Scott Steiner was an athletic freak. Guess who reminds me of Scott Steiner? His nephew, Braun Breaker, looks exactly and sounds exactly like Scott Steiner. That doesn't mean Braun is better than Scott because what he can do in today's world.
He's 1,000% better.
You're 100% out of your mind on that one. Out of your mind. Scott, if he wasn't crazy, Scott Steiner could be the greatest wrestler of all time. His athleticism, his size, his speed. Scott was a special freak. Genetic freak is not only a thing. Scott, you're out of your mind, bro.
You're out of your mind.
You gotta go back and watch 93 to 97 Scott Steiner.
You know what your problem is you're stuck on the what ifs. You're stuck on the what ifs. The problem is you have to judge these people on what is. What is?
No.
Yes.
You can't, but you can't judge people on what is 30 years ago versus what is now, because what is 30 years ago doesn't equate to what is now. They were what they were because of science and because of everything else. 30 years later, when we have all of this science, and you're saying
Michael Jordan was still smoking all them cigars now, bro.
Michael Jordan would score 45 to 50 points a game in today's NBA.
He'd still be scoring 100%. The same stuff.
Michael Jordan might have 12 championships right now.
Stop it.
Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete of all time. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go that far. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. Oh, we just went 15 minutes before we even got to the main event. Jey Uso is overrated, and the Usos are the new WWE Tag Team Champions. That's where we went to. I'm sorry. Okay, this was an absolutely fantastic match.
This was a banger.
AJ Styles. Can we have the conversation we had offline about me talking about AJ Styles for the last 20 years?
Here we go.
It's going to be really quick.
Is it, though?
You're a John Cena guy, right? John Cena is one of your favorite wrestlers of all time. AJ Styles, from the time he was in TNA, he's Mr. TNA, 2002, 2003, to I'm going to say 2019, 2020. He's the best wrestler in the world in that time frame. In-ring, ability, every time he's in the ring with somebody, he elevates that person. John Cena had a banger match this year with AJ Styles at the age of 48. He had a match. I remember I was drunk. We were all at your cousin's house. I was blackout drunk. That SummerSlam 2016 match, AJ Styles versus John Cena, one of John Cena's greatest matches of all time, because of AJ Styles. Mm-hmm. That following Royal Rumble when John Cena beat him, great match. Mm-hmm. This man has had the ability for decades to elevate people who are not as good as him in the ring to levels. Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Kurt Angle, John Cena. There's Shinsuke Nakamura, even though he's great. Like, you look down the history of AJ Styles. He won world championships in every single promotion he was in, except Ring of Honor. He was the Ring of Honor world champion because he was the IWGP New Japan champion at that time. This match was fantastic. The one thing I've always said about the Usos, they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. They wrestle like every single other Samoan that ever wrestled. Rikishi, Yokozuna, Roman, Eddie Fatu. What is Eddie Fatu's name? The one that feuded with John Cena. Umaga. Every single one of them wrestles exactly the same. They have the same moveset. AJ was able to pull a match out of these two guys that was absolutely fantastic. And even what I will give you about the Usos is the storyline aspects of this match was fantastic, because we didn't talk about the pre-match segment. I'll let you talk about the backstage right now, because I felt like me and you, and we'll talk about that. It felt like if I was struggling and I'm going to you. But this match was absolutely fantastic. Go out of your way and watch this match if you're listening to us.
So the problem I have with your take is the fact that you're just regurgitating everything that I told you offline.
Because you were telling it to me before I watched the match. I hadn't seen the match yet. I saw the results.
Yeah, absolutely right though. You had seen the result. You ruined it for yourself off TikTok. Yeah. And then right when you told me that, I went into a whole spiel going off about 100%. How this match, essentially everything you just said was exactly what I just said. Leading up to this match, we had a backstage segment with the brothers. And as I told you during that segment, it was basically, it seemed like it was funneled through truth.
It was us.
Yeah. In the sense that one of them is struggling, and it was Jay, and Jay was basically saying how I feel like a failure. I can't do anything right. And I feel like I'm pulling you down into the abyss with me, basically was what it was. And Jimmy was just like, bro, it's you. I need you. You are a world heavyweight champion. You are the greatest. You are the best. Without you, I am nothing, essentially. We got to do this together.
Which is why I love, you know why I love this segment? Because, again, it reminds me of us. And obviously we're recording, so I'm not going to go into full on detail.
Yeah.
But I'm younger than you by, I don't know, almost a year, 10 months. Every time you struggled, there was a specific person you went to, and you came to me because I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you where you're fucking up.
Yeah.
Every time I struggled, even if I mentally struggle on a daily basis, I go to you, and I'm like, there's no one I'd rather talk to, and there's no one I'd rather tell where I'm fucking up, because I know you're not going to tell me where. You're not going to put me down.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, there's a lot of things happening in your life that push against you, but you always try to find your best way through it. And that's the way you look at me. And that's the way I looked at this. It's like Jimmy they're twins. One of them is 6 or 7 minutes older than the other one. But on screen, Jimmy is the older brother to Jay. It's always been that way. Even though Jay is the world champion and Jay has had more single success than Jimmy has, he still looks to his older brother for guidance. And it's like, I need your help right now. And that's where when you say, listen to the segment, I watched it. I'm just like, that's where I took it. I'm just like, me and you, we do this. This is episode 80. And there's no one in this world I'd rather do this with. When me and you have had our downfalls, we've almost fought, we've had back and forths, tragedies, everything. But at the end of the day, there's one person I want behind me if I knew there was something I needed to do, and it was you. And I know that goes back the other way.
100%.
So and so I watched this match with a little bit difference, and we'll get into the match. The Usos felt like the Usos felt heel,
So they
and it
started. They
wasn't.
100% in the beginning of the match. They started off heel, and then midway through, and I thought that was epic storytelling. Is like they started off heel. They were like, "We got to get this no matter what. We got to do whatever we got to do." And at the end of the day, it was kind of like in the middle of the match, they were just like, "Nah, this ain't us. This is
But
us."
that was the heel aspect didn't feel bad because it was desperation.
Yes.
It was Jay saying, I'm going to do everything I can do to make sure we win.
Yes.
I don't care if we got to low blow people. It wasn't a low blow, but it was like stomps to the
but
chest.
yes, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, like it was chops. It was the old school. We're gonna split the legs when the guy's laying flat on his back. It was a lot of stuff like the heel wrestlers do. But then right before commercial break, I think that's where you saw the difference because they're sitting. Jay is sitting with his back to the announce desk, and Jimmy is sitting his back to the ring, and they're looking at each other. And I don't remember which one said to the other one. He goes, "It's just me and you. Doesn't matter. It's just me and you." And I think that's where it changed. So from that point on, we had two babyface tag teams fighting for a world tag team championship, and match was great. Like I said, I was talking about how teams need to win with their finish, and they hit the 1D, which is a version of their 3D, to win on Dragon Lee. They get the win. Usos capture, according to Bleach Report, their 9th tag team championship in history.
Their what?
9th.
Yeah.
9th tag team championship. Because I think the New Day have 13?
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know, whatever. The Usos win their 9th tag team championship in history. But we talk about this when we're watching this. Like, it's great for the storytelling of them because we think it's not going to be a long run.
No.
Jay has already been world champion. And it's a desperation run. So they're going to win this title. They're going to lose it to somebody. I don't know if it's going to be the Creed brothers or War Raiders or a team coming up from.
Lose it to a team that hasn't had much success. Somebody obscure. The American made.
I was going to say the Creed brothers. Yeah. American made.
American made for the most part seems like somebody that they could lose it to that I feel like they're elevating the tag division. You know what I mean? But losing it to the War Raiders again, I don't.
Doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
I was going to say, or an elevating tag team from NXT. Something that they lose it to.
Somebody that makes sense and it feels like you're pushing somebody.
Because we talked about this during the Gunther thing earlier. The Usos losing to a lesser team doesn't hurt them. They're already made as a tag team, and it prolongs the story. So Jay losing these titles, especially if Jimmy takes the pin. I think that's the thing. Jimmy, whenever they lose these titles, Jimmy should take the pin because then Jay can look at him as like,
it's not
you're the lesser Uso. In my phrase, you're the lesser Uso. And I'm going to turn on you because it's not me that's been holding me back. It's me caring about you. I think that's the story moving forward.
You could do it the other way too. Jay can lose it and Jimmy could say, you know what, you're the lesser. I'm just saying it could happen. And then that's when he goes on his singles run.
I don't think it's in Jimmy's character.
I don't think it's in his character either, but at the same time, I'm tired of Jimmy getting nothing. Jimmy's been regulated to when he's not with Jay, he's just a tag team guy with somebody else.
We gotta wait for Jacob Fatu to get his veneers in, and we're just gonna make him the sidekick again.
I'm not
Did you see the footage of Jacob Fatu with his veneers the other day? Like, they look good. Like, he got the Roman Reigns teeth.
No, you're right.
No, but yeah, I think that's where we're going. I think they're gonna lose this a month, maybe 2 months. Mania. And then Jay probably turns on. I don't know if they turn Jay full-fledged heel. Like,
I don't know. I feel like if they were gonna do it, they should have done it already.
On the spectrum of adults, but again, they're still super over when it comes to the children.
True.
Like, it's hard to turn those guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's super hard to turn those guys. It also helps, like we talked about this, AJ Styles getting out of that tag team division.
Yes.
Like you said before, we're gonna get a 6-man tag next week with AJ, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans against
the
Americanos.
I was gonna say Lucha Underground.
Not even close. By the way, while you're on that topic, you said Lucha Underground. Did you see Swerve Strickland's ring attire this weekend?
The Green Lantern?
Yeah, but did you see the thing?
What thing?
So he came out as John Stewart, Green Lantern, but instead of the Green Lantern symbol on his chest, it was the Killshot logo from when he was in Lucha Underground.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he paid homage to his former character in Lucha Underground with the Killshot logo.
Oh, nice.
So I noticed that right away. I'm like, oh, that's dope that he's doing that. Yeah, we're gonna get American. I was gonna say American made again. Mexican America. What the hell is their name?
Mexican America.
That was the name of Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio. They were Mexa America. I'm not even joking. It was Mexa America.
Hell if I know. Why can't we remember right
now? Grande Americanos. They don't have a name. That's why we can't remember them. It's just the Americanos. It's Rayo Bravo and Grande Americano.
Yeah. But yeah, and then after that, the point is that we're definitely leading into the Gunther.
AJ Gunther.
Yeah.
I like it. I also don't like it. The reason I don't like it is Gunther has been talking so many weeks about, I choked out John Cena. I made him. He came out with a shirt tonight that said, I made him choke out like a little bee. Like, if you're not going to push Gunther directly into the main event scene for Mania, what are we doing?
Yeah. Unless
he's going to do AJ at Rumble and beats AJ, and then you do Gunther, because, again, I said it, you can do Punk. I think Punk loses. I think you do Punk Braun at Mania, and you do Roman Cody at Mania Night 1. What are you doing with Gunther? You're wasting the rub he got on Cena.
Unless you have him retire AJ.
You have him retire AJ. You think AJ goes to Mania?
I'm just saying, he said 2026. He didn't say how long in 2026. He didn't say the whole year.
If they stretch this out, I mean, it's 3 months, but if they stretched out the Gunther retirement things to AJ,
no, because AJ has a triple, a 6-man tag.
That's next week. I'm talking about 3 months from now.
I'm saying that they can prolong this in the sense that they can keep doing the same thing where he's just bumping into him backstage, and they don't have to do something direct anytime soon. They can stretch this. They've stretched everything else. We got Damian Priest versus Aleister Black, and we have Cody Rhodes versus
6 months
versus Drew McIntyre. There's no reason they know how to drag things. They know how to drag things, bro.
6 months of the SmackDown storylines have been going on.
15%. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
One of your phones is about to die. Your headphones are dying.
My glasses.
You have smart glasses?
I have Meta glasses, yes. I've had them for a year now at this point.
You know what? On that note, I was about to say something disrespectful. Why? Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't I do that? I like taking pictures of everything. So now
that's not even a little bit what I'd be using Meta glasses for. On that note,
thank you guys for following us and commenting and subscribing, and we appreciate you for watching our personal TikToks when I go live for no reason with friends of ours. And you can always follow us on Spotify, TikTok, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. And we will
PM.
What?
I said it's only 9 p.m.
That's also true. And yeah, you could follow us and continue doing all that nice stuff, and we'll grow the channel and all that. Catch you on the next one.
The boy arm, episode 80.